Alright, we're back. And again, if you want to call in, the call-in number is 646-915-8774. I'll try to keep an eye on that. I kind of told you that story to try to make you understand this is an ongoing war. Been going on for a few hundred years, and probably go on a lot longer. Probably go on a lot longer. Now, I'll if you wanted to call in, call the number 646-915-8774. And I maybe it's self-defeating. Maybe it's self-defeating. If I was trying to con you into something, hook you into something, I wouldn't be telling you that the government can come out and destroy your tomatoes. I wouldn't be telling you that. I wouldn't be trying to paint a rosy. I would be trying to paint a rosy picture of raised vegetables. And I think you can raise those vegetables in your backyard. Certainly be a little bit better off than you are, but it's more of a form of resistance. Now, going out and marching in the street, protesting the Fed, that don't do you any good. Put in your faith, you donated $1 billion last year to one of your governments. Pick a side now. You want to be a Republican or you want to be a Democrat? You want to be a Republican? Democrat. Oh, well, you know, libertarians have no chance to win. No chance to win. It's got to be control on them. And you've gone through a Republican, you've gone through a Democrat, you've gone through a Republican, and you've gone through a Democrat. You're not any better? Little ego telling you here, if I was running things, this would be set up so your home would make you money, your home would support the rest of the neighborhood, your home would support the rest of the community, and the rest of the community would work with you to make sure your home was secure, your home was safe, your neighborhood was safe. That's what I'm working together. I'm not talking about communal living. I'm not talking about a commune here. I'm talking about we got a little ranch here, 5 acres. Well, you probably can't afford to go out and hire a bunch of cowboys, but I bet you can get a lot of veterans that need a place to stay to come with you and stay with you if they had the opportunity, if they weren't being put down and called baby killers or something like that. We need to start over. We need to rethink it. It needs to go back the way it was. This is how we. This is the thought that's been on my mind. We already have Liberty Villages, small town Texas, small town America. When I was putting this together, when ADL was trying to demonize me over this, a woman calls me up. Woman calls me up and says, "Funny, it's really a good idea, but we're already doing that. We're already doing that." You are? Yeah, we live in a small town, all the people around us are farmers. We're already doing that. We're already doing that. And so the more I got to look at, somebody's already done this. Somebody's already done this. Somebody has already created these foods. They're all around the country. They're all around the country. Somebody in Pasadena, California, couple got a 1/10 of an acre and they grow 6,000 pounds of food. That's up on libertyvillage.org. Still working on libertyvillage.org. Now, can we make this work? Can we make this work? Well, August 15th, I wouldn't have believed that we could make it work. I couldn't make it work. I could not have made it work. I didn't have what I needed. Didn't have the support. Still don't have the support. I need to sell books. I need to have... Now, the people that have been in the chat room that have donated, that have ordered some books, I shipped them books, they got the books. And I was able to make it through another week. Every time somebody buys a book, I can buy almost a tank of gas. Almost. I've been there, folks. I've been there in the penthouse. I've had the boats out there. I had as many boats as I had cars. I made a lot of money. And then suddenly I was designated to be a hater. And I'm going to cover that in this. Yeah, exactly. People are doing that. But here's the problem. They aren't organized, so they can go in, and the cops can go in, and the feds can go in, and the city council can go in and harass them because they don't have the backup. Now, that's what I want to see. I want to see a little bit of organization. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting a wind generator on your house. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting solar panels on your roof. I don't think there's anything wrong with making those solar panels in your garage, and I don't think there's anything wrong with growing food in your backyard. That ought to be a basic right. Some of the lawyers I've interviewed on here that do pro bono cases, they said, won't defend anybody that gets busted or that they try to harass. If those people are members of the co-op, now this is what I want to put together. I don't want to do it alone. Now, the biggest problem I've got is being alone. I've always had employees. I've always had connections. I've always had shipping. I've always had something going. Right now, all I've got going is my book. And if I've got 20 people in the chat room and 20% of them bought my book, I would be able to get the equipment that I need. It takes $100 for me to switch over from this funky internet system that I've got, this AT&T 768 gig internet system. For $100, Time Warner will hook me up. 20 meg, yeah, no problem. We got no problem. We need that $50 deposit because your credit's no good. That'd just be $150, and it'd only be $40 a month, which is about what I'm paying now. So quadruple the speed of my internet, quadruple the security of my system. Yeah, that is what happens if you support me. If you support Revolution Radio, if the elitists and the Zionists, these New World Order organizations out there that want to call you anti-Semitic or call you a racist if you oppose their one world government plan, they don't want you to support someone like me. And what am I trying to get from you? I'm trying to sell you a book. I guarantee it'll be good reading. I guarantee you can get good information. I guarantee you can get some ideas from it. And that's even with the ones that I'm writing now, which I will classify as fiction. Deadly Flashes of Silver tells you about an attack on a nuclear power plant. And I told you about that attack on a nuclear power plant quite a few years before Fukushima. I have an imagination, and I have a writing style, and I have a writing ability. Because I see things a little differently. I see their plan. I'm the first one that did the skin trail video, and you see it on my screen here on YouTube. I did the chemtrails. I said, what is this? And I got Dr. Trevor Carnicom, I got Dr. Lynn Horowitz, and Joyce Ronnie. A lot of them testified on that. What have they done since then? Nothing. We haven't done nothing. I can tell you where the planes are. I can tell you where they are. We're going to go out there with some scientists and some police and check those planes out. I can give you the address. I can tell you where to go. Maybe if you get some honest scientists in there that aren't dependent on the bankers for money, you'll find out what they're killing you with, what they're killing your crops with. What they don't want you to be self-sufficient. It's the main plan. So this is why when I came out talking about self-sufficiency, growing your own food and generating your own power, the Southern Poverty Law stepped up. Want to do the work. Want to do the work. We're ready. Sure, we'll help the New World Order. What a shame. What a shame. Alright. That's great, Lady Horse. I'm glad that there's a lot of small garden stands out there, farmers markets. Yes, ma'am, they are. But what if the cops come into your place and raid tomorrow? If you don't have your whole neighborhood backing you, if you don't have some kind of organization back you fall victim. I lost any backing that I had. I lost all of my support. And they've been trying to take me down. I mean, it's been a struggle every week here, trying to start a new business, trying to put a life back together again that just totally ended. And let's see what else. Hang on a second there. I kind of based on everything I've reported on for the last 20 years, I feel that anarchy and martial law are just around the corner. Now, when the state of anarchy exists, martial law is declared and we become subjects of a military dictatorship. Anarchy is what happens when people become totally disenchanted with their government. Anarchy creates a temporary vacuum. After the despotic government is overthrown and a new government rushes in to fill the void, oftentimes the replacement government is worse than the one being replaced. Oftentimes, those who want a new government are the ones that sow the seed of anarchy. It may be that President Obama is deliberately trying to sabotage our country in order to create one that is based upon the principles of collectivism and human bondage. Those planning the destruction of our country are the same ones that will step forward with their plan for a new world order, just like they did with the Project for a New American Century. If people continue down the path he's laid out for us, just a matter of time before he declares martial law and our Constitution and the principles upon which our nation is founded will be meaningless. One of the strategies that those who seek to enslave us is to employ the principles of divide and conquer. They realize that as long as we continue to fight among ourselves, the real enemies of the people will be unable to implement their agenda without opposition. Those who love liberty, need to unite behind a plan to take America back. As stated by Henry David Thoreau, we must stop hacking at the branches of evil and strike at the root. The government is not the problem. It is the bankers and the financial elite that lurk in the shadows that is our real enemy. Congress did not have the constitutional right to grant a privately owned bank the authority to print our money and regulate its value until we force Congress to repeal the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. We will continue being debt slaves in a land that was once free. Now, folks, I started this article this month, much like I've done month after month for over 25 years publishing hard copy magazines. I've been writing novels, articles, and short stories for over 50 years. I started doing radio to promote my work, and the people I felt had the important pieces of information on a conspiracy so vast, so complex, that even the finest, strongest minds unconsciously shy away from some of the details of the attacks being used against us. With the attacks increasing on journalists, reporters, bloggers, whistleblowers, and ordinary people just trying to get the truth out, we've entered a truly perilous point in the history of America and the world. The name stack up, demonization, the name calling, the finger pointing increase. As I scanned through the stories this week, I saw an obituary for Michael Hastings, the Rolling Stone reporter who died in a fiery high-speed crash in a Mercedes that is not known to do that. Assange hiding out in an embassy in London, Manning going to prison for 35 years for showing a video of a U.S. helicopter crew committing mass murder. Then there's Snowden being saved by Russian President Putin from a vengeful U.S. president. Now, what do we got here? This is why I'm telling you, the people are coming after these farms, like polypation farms, like the group in where was it? Yeah, what happened here? All right. Olive, you wanted to call in, I gave you the number 646-915-8774. Matter of fact, Angela, I have read Asimov, I read Heinlein, I read Edgar Rice Burroughs, every book they ever wrote. And I'm looking at the show right now. I'm looking at Blog Talk Radio. If you want to call in, 646-915-8774. 916. Eight seven seven four. That's right. And that's it. Okay. I swear to God. Tried calling in for. God, you're not on, Ollie. You're not on, or you would be listening to me. What's your area code? Ollie, what's your area code? Okay. Alright, I got you then. Hold on a minute. Alright, hello Olive, how are you? Wait a minute, hold on. It ain't coming through here. Alright. Hang on a second. And I'll get you up here. Alright, can I hear you now? Nope. Nope, didn't get that one. Wait a minute. Olive, can you hear me yet? There you gone. After changing all that around, alright. Call it back. I had you on. Where are we headed? Here we are on Skype there. I had Revolution. Call it back. I will get. Alright. We got you. Let me see if I can get you now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Yes, sir, we can hear you. And I am recording here, and everything's working. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, my question to you is the thing about the Liberty Village.
Okay.
And that is, you know, you say that some people try to have you lost in liars. But what I'm saying today is, so, talk to you about more in detail about the Liberty Village and why has it not worked?
Because I had $50,000 in a deal I made to get it to work. I had the money, I sold it, and the day that we closed, the day I got the money in to put in all the yurts and the teepees. Teepees cost about $4,000 a piece. And,
That seems to me,
what?
it just seems to me that out of all this time that you've been on the radio, how many years now? And all these people that if you went to people who have said, hey, play, you know what? Here's $500,000, man. I believe in what you do. Go with it.
You believe in what I do. Have you bought a book? Have you made a donation? Have you ordered anything from me? Well, nobody else has either. Nobody else has either. We've had a couple of people, you may be one of them, I don't know. We've had a few people buy some books. Some people that I know of here. Since all I know you buy is Hollywood. I don't know if you ever ordered.
You got some donation I have to Freedom's Day. Many times I'm going to do each month.
That doesn't help me at all. That doesn't help me at all, sir. I am out here alone. I am in this battle alone. I am in this battle by myself. I have books to sell, and I have donation buttons on my website. And if I can't now Revolution, I am trying to put together a business plan for Revolution so we can have a board of directors, so I won't be the only one out here that's trying to push something that's valuable. We've already got the basis for the Liberty Village Co-op set up. There's a model for that. It's called the Oklahoma Food Co-op. They've got the whole system set up. They've got all the paperwork. They're doing it right. You can't grow GMO foods. They're putting farmers together with the civilians. The only difference in what I'm proposing here is you got to start doing it more in your backyard, and you do it as a co-op. So you get you save a little bit of money on your staples. You save a little bit of money on this and that, and you're buying it from other people in the co-op. You're working together, and I want 12 members or broadcasters or principals of Revolution Radio operating as a board of directors. And I'm looking, I've got all the research, I've got a lot of research, I've got a lot of that done. I want to make 5% off of the thing. I want Revolution Radio to make 5% off the thing, and we save all of our members a lot of money. It's talking about $50 a year to join the Oklahoma Food Co-op. The only difference between what I'm proposing is that it would be in every state, in every county, and everybody out there that joins a co-op that puts $50 in would have a vested interest in telling other people about it and spreading the word. Other than sitting back and going, well, you don't want to buy Clay's books. He's a hater. He's a hater. Don't you know he's a hater? Who told you that? Who told you that? Where did you get that? I've got black friends. I got Mexican friends. Vincent Del Cordo had a a Mexican mother and a Italian father. He was one of my best friends. He was one of my neighbors. I bought all my cattle from him. He would have been canning all the cattle for Liberty Villages. If somebody had given me $50,000 in my pocket and kicked me off of my own property, if somebody hadn't shot somebody who wanted to put $1.5 million into my project, they shot him coming out of Safeway with my breakfast, and then they put him in prison in Texas for 1.5 years. His name was Casey Nethercott, and he did ranch rescue, and that was the ADL on Southern Property Law. Now, you want to know why I haven't made it? That's why. People keep trying to fucking tell me. People, I had one of my magazines sold for $500,000, and I still retained 50% of it, which means it was $1 million venture. Arizona.
Okay, so the bottom line, Clay, is why is it that people take you as sort of like a shoe-dealer? I'm not saying me. I'm saying that some come off like when I hear you on Freedom Slip. But I'm just saying...
I come off like what?
Well,
wait a minute. I come off like... What?
Not that you hate it, that's how it seems to me. I don't think you are. I'm just saying that's how it kind of comes off that way.
Wait a minute. If the Jews knew what they were doing, how they were being used, how they've been sacrificed by their leaders, we'd be a lot better off. If, and it's not all Jews. Jesus Christ. It's not all Jews. I don't hate Jews. Aaron Russo was put on the cover of my magazine. Henry McCow has been on my magazine. And, of course, those are people who are attacked by the Jews themselves because they don't want you to know what their own people are saying. People like Jim Stone went into a Jewish church, had a rabbi, was there for 2 years until he heard them do the Kol Nidre, and after that, he didn't want to have anything to do with them, so he became a Jew hater too. I don't hate Jews. I hate tyrants. I hate criminals. I hate liars. That's it. That's it. And if you don't understand that, then turn my radio off and go to hell. Stay out of my face. Yeah, you're damn right I'm angry. You are damn right I'm angry. You're damn right I'm angry. I'm angry because I've had everything I cared about taken away from me, including my country. I've been fighting for my country and trying to straighten this out since I learned the CIA and the Mossad were doing their drug runners. Now, if I tell you that Michael Harari, the head of the Mossad right now, who bragged about being responsible for 9/11, and who was named in my document, in my book, Mystery Babylon, of being the power behind Noriega, bringing the cocaine from Colombia into Mena, Arkansas. And I tell you, Michael Harari killed Colonel Cotello, and I got it from the people that worked with Colonel Cotello. When I tell you that, and you want to call me a Jew hater, kiss my ass, you dumb son of a bitches. Now, you got anything else to say to me? Evidently not. This is why I get so upset with you. And I don't care whether you support me or not. Not millions of people out there, but I'm trying to tell you a way to overcome, a way to fight these people, a way to stand up to them, a way to be more self-sufficient. They don't want you to be self-sufficient. They want you to pay that full price for the gasoline. They want you to do that. They want you to do that. And you're going to be maybe you're just the best intentioned people out there. Maybe you may love everybody. I mean, you just don't want to hurt anybody. I don't either. I won't shoot a pheasant. I won't shoot a bird. I don't kill cats. And I don't hurt nobody else. Unless you get in my face, and then I will put your ass in the hospital. Now, the Liberty Village can be anywhere. I'm not tearing down the supporter. If all supports me, fine. You refer to me a hater, you're on my shit list, and I won't talk to you again. You know, you say I hate Jews. That's a Jew propaganda trying to tell you that, trying to create that, because they don't want you to resist your master. You want to find out you want to know who your masters are. Voltaire told you. They're the ones that you can't criticize. Alright. And I've also got shop. You can read all of my books there. Now, if you want to call in and you don't want to go into this, you just come out like you hate Jews, Clay. You know, if you don't want to do that and try to get cover, it's not all Jews, Clay. It's not all. Of course you're not. Of course it's not. And all white folks ain't racist. And all black folks don't hate white folks. This is the media. This is what they do to try to stir you up. They try to make it think that starting militia was somehow a bad thing. I don't think so. I think it's the one thing that we do, and I think we need to do it again and again and again, and we need to do it in a proper way, the way I did it. The way I did it, I went into the governor's office. I rode with the governor. I was on my motorcycle, on his bicycle, but we got to talk. And we tried to do something. The militia, you need to organize that under the sheriff. We need to do that. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Rowe. Getting a little bit of stuff in the background. Didn't need that if somebody's not calling in. If you want to call in, the number 646-915-8774. Now, I've got fiction books, and a lot of you haven't thought about the fiction books much. Yeah, I haven't done that. And I think you should. I think you should. And I'm going to give you a sample. Now, I started this over 10 years ago when John D. McDonald died. Since the Southern Property Law gave me a plug on this, I think we ought to do that. And it's called One Bloody Alabaster Ride. Keep in mind, I have read a lot of books, every science fiction book in the public library before I was 14 years old. I read Asimov. I read Heinlein. I read Edgar Rice Burroughs. I read philosophy. Not science fiction, but real stuff. And what I created, when John D. McDonald died, he did about 12 books in the Travis McGee series. He did about 12 books, and he died. He was going to do the Travis McGee dying book, and never got around to it. Never got around to it. So I started a character that could have been his son. My character's mother was a woman that Travis McGee slept with in Deep Blue Goodbye. It was, and then a few years later, I came back and rewrote it. 79,000 words, 456 I got a hard copy, but you can buy the PDF for $10. $10. And since obviously we can't talk about anything that's going on in the country because you people out there are so brainwashed that you're going to take offense at something I say. Did he say 9/11 was an exaggerated case of Jewish lightning? You're damn right I did, because it was. $2.6 trillion stolen from the Pentagon, or was it 2.3? I give you, who cares about a point and trillion? That was disappeared under Rabbi Dov Zakheim. But can't we just get on? Can't we just get on? The kid was young, green, and scared. Hey, we had been running through heavy woods, mostly uphill, praying for the snowstorm to hit before the choppers could lock in on us with their infrared scanners, or the gunners could see us through their night vision scopes. We were both winded, close to exhaustion, and the vision of what we had seen was weighing heavily on our minds. The whomp of the blades of a Russian hind coming over a ridge stopped us in our tracks, and we scrambled to unfurl the special ponchos that would hide our heat signature and provide a slim chance of survival. With our rifles underneath us and the camouflage lightweight ponchos over us, we lay in the fresh, wet layer of snow that had fallen earlier and waited. If their instruments located us, we would never feel a thing. The missiles would tear the flesh from our bones in an instant, and the war would be over for us. This was probably a better fate than being overtaken by the Gurkha soldiers somewhere behind us. The Gurkhas were small Nepalese troops favored by the British, much feared by their enemies, bred to be killers. Their size was not indicative of their ferociousness. The great knives they carried were passed down from father to son, and once drawn, could not be resheathed with honor without drawing blood. In Korea and Vietnam, they'd fought on our side. In this crazy conflict, it was hard to tell who was who and which side was which. The sound of the helicopter faded into the approaching night, but the danger would not lessen. The Gurkhas were silent, deadly, and tenacious trackers as bloodhounds. I knew that only an act of God would save us. The kid thought I could. Where to now, Colonel Cameron, he asked, with a composure that startled me. Could it be he was not as frightened as I thought? Maybe he just didn't understand how dangerous and how close, how hopeless the situation was. I took a deep breath and composed myself. It's hard to be a hero when you're scared shitless. I pulled a picture up of the train in my mind and placed on the glance on the compass to orient myself. We'll keep going north until we hit the highway. Maybe we'll look out and catch a ride with a sympathetic trucker. I kept the heat-masking poncho over my shoulders, put the rifle at ready, and started out in a northerly direction. We were deep into enemy-controlled territory, far from the relative safety of the city. The travel restrictions imposed on the general population had cut deep into our chances of getting a ride with a sympathetic citizen. Only trucks and tanks were allowed on the major highways. We had missed our rendezvous and been written off by our Confederates as MIA. Our mission had been confirmed. The rumors of a major termination camp near the border. The reports had been true, but the security around the camp had been far more sophisticated than we expected. No sooner had we snapped the first pictures of the naked men and women and children being herded into separate facilities and caught a whiff of the noxious smell of burning bodies from the short-lived smokestacks hidden by towering evergreens. Then the alarm sounded, the searchlights went on, and we were running for our lives. I felt a sense of hopelessness wash over me. What good would the photos do if you survived to deliver them? Who would believe the pictures, and who possessed the power to do anything about it? There were rumors that we had friends in the army in high places, but no one with any juice was showing their hand at this point. If the existence of such allies were true, how much longer would it be? How many more lives would be sacrificed before they had acted? My eyes complicated. He was staring at me questioningly. Was he reading my doubts on my face? Come on, let's move it, I said gruffly, turning my face from him. Then I heard a rustling of leaves and turned to see a little black-cat Gurkha in a night vision glasses with his knife hook coming through the bushes to my right. I ducked to feel the bend of the blade above my head, My own cold steel blade slipped silently from its sheath and buried to the hilt in his side. Buck. There was no time to congratulate myself. There was one, there were others. I grabbed the falling Gurkha and swung around till we were facing the direction he came from. I started to yell at the kid to get behind me, but there was no time. A burst of automatic weapon fire came from the brush field, of course. It was eerie to see the face rounds coming straight at me. The body I was holding bucked from the impact of a dozen bullets. I grabbed the Uzi hanging loosely at the dead man's side and returned to fire. I fired till the clip was empty, then I slung my own Mini-14 from my shoulder while still gripping my formerly human shield tightly. I fired a few rounds at the suddenly quiet forest and realized I was still alive, that still standing there like an idiot. I dropped the bullet-riddled body and nestled between it and a moss-covered log. I removed the undamaged glasses from the corpse, slipped them over my own head, frantically searching the green shadows of the forest for my enemies and the body for anything I could use. I came up with a few 9mm rounds in order my pistol as well as the liberated Uzi. Whoever had fired at us was as good as invisible. Suddenly I remembered the kid. Using the glasses, I scanned, seen, and found him. Blood was hardly recognizable as such because of the glasses, but I could tell from pulse, from touch. His pulse barely there. My fingers were now sticky that he was badly hurt. He had a surprised expression on his face as he looked up at me. It was as though he thought that being with me somehow made him invulnerable. The blood was coming from a hole that grew in his side. If I could get him out of these woods into a safe place, he might have a chance. But this was enemy territory, and these shots would bring other men in black who desired only one thing tonight, that we both end up dead. I tore up my medipack, pulled a coat protect from it. Keep this pressed against your wound. You leave a trail of blood to find us. Keep us snug. Yes, sir, Colonel Cameron. Forget the colonel, I muttered, as I slung him over my shoulder. Just call me Trevor. Yes, sir, he said, suppressing a groan. I found two more bodies, confirming the accuracy of my shot. Since the Gurkhas normally run in groups of 4, I figured I had missed one who was now looking for backup. The kid didn't weigh much over 150, so with night vision I was able to make it at the time, but I couldn't be sure of how much of a trail I was leaving. Within a half hour, snow began to fall on earth, and I panted a sigh of relief as it covered our tracks and whatever drops of the kid's blood hit the ground. Then over a ridge, I saw the sudden glow of a kerosene lantern shining through a hastily pulled blackout curtain covering the window of the cabin. Light smoke rose from the cabin. If the boy was live, I had to take a chance. The old man who opened the door took it all in with a glance. I never said a word, but he motioned me inside a closed door behind me. I stood there, snow melting on the carpet, while he rolled up a rug and revealed a trap door. He helped me ease the kid through it and then took off. When he lit the candle, I removed the heavy glasses, and he took a closer look at me. You're Cameron. His tone was thick with awe. Damn right he is. Just killed the hell out of a whole company of them damn burgers too, the kid said to bragging across. Then he carried me here, must have run 5 miles with me on his shoulder. The kid exaggerated. Awfully proud to meet you, Colonel. He turned his attention to the kid. Let's get this boy's bleeding stopped. I thanked him and sat down. I'm still uncomfortable with this kind of attention. Notoriety is sometimes awful like when I need help like now, but I'm equally well known among the opposition. Their instructions are to shoot first and establish my identity later. So, Colonel, the old man asked in a conversational tone, you ever been to Colorado before? I opened my eyes, took a minute or two to orient myself, then a few more to convince myself it had been a dream. The little golden falcon was loaded with every convenience a bachelor could want. The bathroom was equipped with a CD player, cassette player, TV to swivel and could be viewed from the living room as well. The living room contained one couch, one table, a large swivel chair. I was sitting at my computer, and an old slow 386 IBM with a hard drive. The laser printer, modem, mouse, scanner covered my desk, adjoining wall. Everything was dark put into place. Careful bumps and turns on the road. My name is Trevor Cameron Hamilton, not Colonel Cameron. I never cared to go in the service. Wasn't the kind of person who would rise up in the ranks anyway. Never been to Vietnam or Korea. There's no war personally, no concentration camps in America. There's some talk about a war with Iraq, but all's quiet here in Colorado. I checked my watch, realized I'd almost overslept. Had no time for coffee. Didn't want to be late for my flight. And then we're into chapter 1. Chapter 1. Now, I go back into the chat room here. We got 15 minutes. And if you want to call in, probably you don't. 646-915-8774. See what else you got. Alright. Yeah, bribes, I'd go along. I agree with you. Anger block solution, but citizen arrest, I've done that. I arrested one of the most infamous con men in America, according to the INS. And I think we possibly need to do that. We can't do it alone, though. You can certainly pick somebody up. You can certainly arrest somebody if you see them commit a crime. And I think we need to work with police instead of being opposing. This is what they want them to do. This is part of the whole thing, the whole locking movement. Wanted to drive the police against you. They send in instigators. They send them in. Alright, let's check out some of the news here. Hello, David. I'll take your call. You might cut off your sound there. We got a delay. Are you there, David? All right. Don't have much. All right. I got you now. I can hear you now.
Hey, Rick. I just want to say hello and let you know that I listen all the time. And I wanted to skip a little bit out about Jesse Ventura's announcement on YouTube of Alex Jones concerning his run for the presidency in 2016.
Yeah, and I personally think Jesse would be a good choice. He is an independent. He does know what's going on. And I think he'd be a good choice.
Right. Well, I just sent an email to Don Luca at thenationofchange.org, who's a completely independent party who was on the election ballot this last election, registered in all 50 states, and I'm not sure to get in touch with Jesse because he's looking for a party to support his run. And if the two run, it'd be like the left hand washing the right hand. It'd be perfect, and we might just have a chance of taking over the top board of office here and changing everything for the benefit of all of our sakes.
Well, you know what, I've just come to the conclusion here that if we're going to make a difference by voting, it's going to be in our counties, it's going to be for the sheriff we're voting for our city managers, for our politicians there. But on the national level, they own it. They own it. They run the media. They're not going to let you vote for anybody. They're not going to tell you.
Well, it's people like you, Clayton, and like myself, that are putting their head out here, and really would have to be if they have one ballot that they can cast many times as they want. But besides mixed up in those diehard machines that are backing up the false counts on the elections. But what we have to do is get the word out there and talk it up. And we still got 2 years to do that, so this could actually take place with people like you and a few others. We could get the word out to the younger voters and middle people, children, but still in the future. And I think we can actually landslide this next election in Kansas City if we can just get on the horse and move around with them. So I just wanted to let you know that I think it's all possible just from listening to you for a few years here. And anybody can do whatever they put their minds to. Thank you, sir, once again for doing it exactly the way it needs to be done.
All right. I appreciate you calling in here, David, and I'll try to I'll give Jesse Publishing Company a call and see if the numbers I got for him still work.
I'd love to hear him on the show again. I listened to a few years ago, and it was great to hear his voice and years together. I think we're really going to stake on what's going to happen, and we can really make it work if we just get together.
All right. I swear to God, I don't mean to I really don't like putting people down, but everybody that's going free America, it's not the Jews. It's not the Jews. It's the root of it all is not the Jews. And the dark beings who run the show of world government. Oh, you mean like Netanyahu, like Henry Kissinger, like Barbara Boxer, like Dianne Feinstein, like come on, we can name these people all day long, and and the worst thing about this whole thing is that they've been telling us for years and years who these people are and what they're doing. But if I talk about them, I've got some idiot over here telling me, oh, it's not the Jews. Let's see. In 4 BC to 5 AD, Seneca said, the customs of this accursed people have grown so strong that they've spread through every land. And let's see, Jesus, don't want to take anything out of context here. He said in 32 AD, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. St. Justus, in 116 AD, the Jews were behind all the persecutions of the Christians. They wandered through the country everywhere, hating and undermining the Christian faith. And Muhammad, our big enemy here, Muhammad, he said in 570 AD, it's incomprehensible to me, why has no one not long ago expelled these death-breathing beasts? Are these Jews anything but devourers of men? And Martin Luther in 1483, how the Jews love the book of Esther, which is so suitable to their bloodthirsty, revengeful, murderous appetite and hope. The sun has never shone on a more bloodthirsty and vindictive people who cherish the idea of murdering and strangling the heathen. No other men under the sun more greedy than they have been and will always be, as no one can see from their accursed usury. They console themselves when their Messiah comes, he will collect all the gold and silver in the world and divide it among them. And how about the Pope in 1592? All the world suffers from the usury of the Jews, their monopoly and deceit. They have brought many unfortunate people into a state of poverty, especially farmers, working class people, and the very poor. And Voltaire in 1694, the Jews are nothing but an ignorant, barbaric people who have for a long time combined the most loathsome avarice and the most abominable superstition and inextinguishable hatred of all peoples, by whom they are tolerated and through whom they are enriched. One more Napoleon here. Let's do two more here. I've decided to improve the Jews. I do not want any more of them in my kingdom. Indeed, I've done all to prove my scorn of the vilest nation in the world. I was a little bit before the Federal Reserve took over us. And Benjamin Franklin warned you at the Constitutional Convention that there's a great danger in the United States of America. This great danger is a Jew. Gentlemen, in every land which the Jews have settled, they have depressed the normal level and lowered the degree of commercial honesty. They've remained apart and unassimilated. They have created a state within the state, and when they are opposed, they attempt to strangle a nation financially, as in the case of Portugal and Spain. For more than 1,700 years, they have lamented their sorrowful fate, namely that they were driven out of their homeland. But, gentlemen, the civilized world today should give them back Palestine and their property. They would immediately find pressing reason for not returning there, because they are vampires. They cannot live by themselves. They must live among Christians and others who do not belong to their race. If they are not excluded from the United States by the Constitution in less than 100 years, they will stream into this country in such numbers they will rule and destroy us and change our form of government, for which we Americans have shed our blood and sacrificed liberty, property, and personal freedom. I mean, David, this is these are our founding fathers that are trying to tell you what I am telling you.
I agree 100%, and I know this is true. I just look at Lady Horse and my back and constantly understand that any person who claims to be a Jew and still celebrates Passover on one night instead of February night, which it says in the Old Testament of the Bible, is following the wrong group. Any person that goes back to the Gregorian Saturday for their Sabbath is following the wrong group. And I don't care if you're a Jew or not a Jew. I don't care what you are, you're following the wrong religion. So all of you pious and righteous Jews out there, get your acts together and start doing it the right way. Don't celebrate on the waiting room, no one do it on the family night. Don't ever follow the Gregorian Saturday for your Sabbath count. Do it on the 7th day of the year, which this year is 7th night. That's their Sabbath count. Come on, brother, wake up. You're all smart about something, but you're all following the wrong version and doing it the wrong way. And keep up the good work, and I'm with you all the time, brother.
I appreciate that, David. Thanks for your call and thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. See ya. Now, folks, you can send a donation via freeamerican.com. All you got to do is click on the donate button. You can order a book from shop.freeamerican.com. And if you can't do that, go find someone else to listen to, because I don't want to talk to you no more. I'm tired of you. I think you people, you try to demonize me because I care about the American people. I care about the little children out there. I was outraged by Waco. I'm outraged by Sandy Hook. I'm outraged by the way the press, the media, the Jewish-owned press tries to turn everything. I know what the ADL is. I know what the Southern Poverty Law is. You can call them dark beans if you want. I published Morris D's divorce papers. Yeah, he's a child molester. He's a fag. He's everything else. He's the lowest of gutter slime, and he makes millions of dollars trying to demonize people like me. I've showed you how they've done it. I've showed you how they've done it. And you still don't seem to understand. You want to come after me and say something about the way I talk? No. It ain't going to happen. I don't care. I mean, you can do it. It's a chat room. You can do it. I rarely even look at it. Just did this time because I was willing to take a call. But I'll never take your call again, Ollie. You can go to hell until I receive a personal apology from you. And you want to? Oh, it's just a black beans. It's just a demon. It's probably Shane. It's probably Shane. They probably called him up and he materialized. Bullshit. Come on. You know, you're looking for a demon. Wait. got him? Oh my God.